My body care routine, and not just for my body acne, but like everything I do to my body and yes, my feet. And I have to say, I am skincare obsessed, but also acne traumatized me. And I am so particular and careful about what I put on my skin because of it that I often feel like there's certain body products that I can't use or that just don't work for me. And that is frustrating because especially with body products, like I like fragrances, I like the way things look and smell and feel, but I can't always do that for my body. I also have psoriasis, which I wasn't aware of until more recently. Runs in my family. I have family members who have it, but I didn't have flares until last year because, you know, that was rough for everybody. But my body care routine is very interesting. Some things that I've tried out, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you, I have made some major mistakes. Let's start with what I do when I first get into the shower. Some people I know dry brush their bodies or they try to do lymphatic drainage. Dude, if I had the time and motivation and effort, I would. I used to do like a little workout before I got in the shower, and the reason I did that workout is because I could get my blood flowing, I could get a little sweaty and then wash it off. Full transparency, as always, that has not been happening for like a year or a year and a half. I really recommend it. It was a really great routine for me, especially because you just do a little something before you get in the shower. It was a nice habit, but haven't been doing it. For my body wash, I am still using this bad boy. This is from Holika Holika. It's like $14 at Ulta. I absolutely freaking love this. This is the Aloe Shower Gel, and this just cleans my body. Now, it doesn't have aloe latex, so it's non-stripping and non-drying. This comes from Jeju or Jejiao. This, it's almost like the Hawaii of South Korea, and it's supposed to be sustainably sourced, and they've won, you know, packaging designs, and let me tell you again, I like my skincare to be fun. I feel like I'm having fun when I use this in the shower. I rub this all over my body, and for the longest time I was using Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. It is very stripping, but yes, it does work. Now, I am not currently using that. That's not something that's in my routine. I stopped that a while ago, but this has really taken up space on my shower shelf, and I am not mad about it. Now, in the shower, I've also been using some scrubs, and this one I got sent to me for free, so I was like, oh, I'll try it. I know scrubs aren't the best, and I would never put them on my face, but let me tell you, for my feet, for my elbows, for my knees, I love a scrubby feeling. Again, acne has traumatized me. And when I was growing up, I did use the St. Ives apricot scrubs. I used the Neutrogena scrub. I used all of the scrubs, and there's like something psychological about scrubbing my body that makes me feel really good, even though I know it's pretty darn bad for my epidermis, and especially if you go too hard or if you've been out in the sun and then you scrub, it's just not the best. Now, this one is better. This one is from Dermalogica. It's the Thermofoliant Body Scrub, and I really heavily enjoyed this. It has a little bit of a grapefruit scent, and my skin actually doesn't prefer grapefruit, but I found this to be really good for my body, especially on like my feet, my elbows, and my knees, where I do tend to get my more dry patches. I also use this before shaving, before I shave, and then I Kenzie, and so this actually works really well, but I am just about done with this, and I have gone back to this one. I was using this in the winter. This is the Sandra Lee MD Glycolic Acid Body Scrub. Again, I have KP, which we've done a video on. I have pseudofolliculitis, or basically it looks like pimples on your butt, but it's not pimples, and the best way to deal with that is to not have sweaty pants on, to make sure that you are airing things out, and then to make sure that you're exfoliating. And this stuff really hits the hammer on the head, the nail on the head, the hammerhead on the nail. I get it from Target. I fucking love this shit, and it is so good to my body, and it makes me look good, it makes me glow, it makes me feel good. It is a physical plus chemical exfoliant, but it's not overly irritating to my skin, which I like. Now, also on my body, I panoxyl my pits. Yes, do you even, Dr. Dre, if you don't benzoyl peroxide on your pits? As we know, sweat and the stinky smell comes from bacteria that lives in our axillary areas under our armpits. And we also know that benzoyl peroxide is keratolytic, so it's exfoliating. And it's also peroxide, so there's a bond that breaks that releases oxygen, but it is antibacterial and it kills bacteria. Yes, acne bacteria, but also armpit bacteria. So if you don't use benzoyl peroxide on your armpits, warning, make sure that you don't wear a t-shirt that you like, and make sure you remove it all because you don't want to stain your t-shirts. But benzoyl peroxide, whether it's the Panoxyl, which is inexpensive for me, I get it from the drugstore, or I've also used the Dr. Zenovia benzoyl peroxide, the acne-free benzoyl peroxide, like I switch it out, but this is what I've been using. I put it under my pits, it works well. Don't look at them today because it's been a hot moment, but I absolutely love this stuff and it works for me. And while I'm there, I also put this on my back. I still struggle pretty badly with body acne breakouts. I have been using the Dr. Zenovia benzoyl peroxide wash. It's 10% 100%, so it's a little bit more than this, but that is what I've been putting on my body, and it helps me with these acne breakouts. Now, when I get out of the shower, this is mainly the only thing I do for my acne. We've spoken about this in my body acne routine, but this is a salicylic acid body spray. It's not the only one. There are definitely many other body sprays that you can use, which I'm actually going to be testing out, but this is the one that I have been using. I love this. It's from Sandra Lee MD. You get it at Target. You open it up, you do a little spray, 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 and it's really easy to reach the back area if you can't reach. The salicylic acid really works on pimples. I would recommend doing this at night, even though sometimes I do it during the day and then like wear a shirt over it, just because you don't want to exfoliate and go out into the sun, but this is one of my favorites. It works, it's easy to reach, and if you have body breakouts and if you haven't tried like a spray form of treatment, it's one of the easiest. And remember, ease of use means adherence to the routine, and adherence to the routine means that you might actually see results if you're using it as directed. So this is a definite yes from me. Now, also on my body, I've been trying something new. Now, this has only been about a week, and I still don't know how I feel about this. This is fragrance-free from Dr. Dre made me try it. It was a little bit more expensive than I wanted to spend on, but this is a body serum, and I'm still trying to figure out, do I need a body serum? Like, I've got body moisturizers, I've got body things. I love doing skincare in the shower. Like, there's something about being underwater that just makes my inner mermaid so happy. But when I get out of the shower, I'm like, I don't know, I'm either cold or I'm like ready to dry off or something. There's just like that standing there wet feeling that I don't love. And I don't love my body care after the shower as much as I enjoy my body care in the shower. So I'm still trying to figure out, is this worth the money for me? But this is a body serum. The point is hydration. It has hyaluronic acid in it, which does have a short half-life, which means, you know, in 6 to 12 hours, you're gonna need to reapply it if you want the benefits, but it's a hydrating formula. I like it. It's like a lightweight body serum. But when I use this underneath like a thicker balm or something, I sit here and I'm like, I don't need it. Maybe for summer, I would switch out my body moisturizer for this, if that's what you want to do, and if you want to switch your body moisturizer to something lighter like a serum, that is something that I'm probably going to play around with. But for now, I like that it's fragrance-free, it has some ceramides in it. I'm still trying to see how I like it. And this is my first product from Dr. Dre, making me spend my money all sorts of places. It's not bad, but I'm just like, is it worth the price? Do I keep it up? A couple days in, I don't feel like I need it underneath my skin moisturizer. And that's actually what we'll talk about next, because I made a huge mistake. You know that vegan and cruelty-free products are very important to me. You also know that CeraVe is extraordinarily popular. They claim they're cruelty-free, but then they're still sold in China, so maybe they're not. But then even when they're sold in China, China now has new laws on animal testing, and it's very confusing. And Dr. Dre and other dermatologists and Leah Yu and Gothamista and Hiram all love CeraVe, and I get it, but I don't use it. And I've used it on others, and I'm always trying to find options, right? I found and tried this from Dr. Pravisha Patel. This is a really good body cream. Dr. Pravisha Patel is from Memphis, Tennessee. I know her online. I've never met her in person, but she is super sweet and knowledgeable, and we geek out on skincare, on treatments, and on aesthetic medicine together, and I freaking love it. And I tried this product from her. This is the Face to Feet All Over 5-in-1, and it basically helps with hydration, stopping itchy skin from eczema, really helping rebuild your skin barrier, blah blah. Here's the problem. Again, vegan cruelty-free skincare is very important to me. This is cruelty-free, and some people consider bee products vegan and some people do not. I did not realize this product has beeswax in it. I always turn and learn my ingredients, that's what I do, but sometimes when I'm reading through things, I accidentally skip over a word, or my brain sees beeswax and thinks that it's synthetic beeswax, or my eyes see arginine, but my brain says argireline, and I mispronounce things or I get things wrong. And I did not realize that this product has beeswax in it, and this makes me really sad because it is a good product, but because of that, it's not something that I'm going to be purchasing again unless it's reformulated. I was going to talk about this because I was putting it on. I have like under boob psoriasis patches. This would be something that I would recommend, and I have recommended, but I didn't realize it had beeswax in it. So this is no longer a yes from me, and I have switched over to something else. This is the lab sample that we're going to talk about in a second, but I also want this to be like a learning experience for everybody, because I think that this is important that we talk about. Yes, I am personally cruelty-free and that matters to me. I am personally a vegan and I do not want to use products from animals or other people without their consent. That matters to me. And this is something that I'm very, very passionate about, and I try to emulate that in all areas of my life. But am I human and do I mess up? Yes, I absolutely do. And this is an honest mistake. It happens. I think every single person who has ever been vegan or vegetarian has had one of these moments. And instead of staying quiet about it, I think it's important to say. So at this point, what do you do if this happens? Maybe we could do a video on that in the future. I would not recommend throwing a product away. If you throw a product away, you are wasting it and, you know, destroying ingredients, causes waste. Like, that is not sustainable or ethical, right? Normally, if I didn't have anyone to give this to, I would finish it up. But as mentioned, I have other family members who have eczema and psoriasis. I have friends, even subscribers and potato wives on the Discord chat who are okay with a slightly swatched product. So I will be passing this forward and no longer using it unless it is reformulated. And that is very, very sad for me, but that is the truth. That is what happened. Make mistakes, you learn from it, and then you switch products. So this right here is actually a lab sample that I got to try November of last year. As you can see, lab samples do not have any details on them, but you get an ingredients list, you get to try something from a manufacturer, and this is an excellent, excellent product that I love. The good news is that this lab sample also helps with my eczema, psoriasis, dry skin, and it is now available, and it has been available for quite some time. It is this from Sandra Lee MD. This is the body seal for eczematic dry skin, and I find it somewhat comparable to the Dr. Visha. It is definitely not as thick as the CeraVe cream. I've definitely felt that one to be much thicker, but this has niacinamide, it has oat, it has ceramides. This is an amazing body seal. And is it a little bit much for summer? Again, that's why I'm thinking of switching to the serum, but for my eczematic dry patches, I actually really like this stuff and it does seal things in, especially on like my dry parts right here on my elbows and on my knees. This is a really great body seal, and if you're looking for a vegan cruelty-free alternative to the CeraVe or a vegan alternative to the Dr. Visha products, this is one that I would recommend. This does have colloidal oatmeal as a skin protectant. It is made, you know, for dry eczematic skin, so that might not be right for everybody, but this is what I've been using ever since this broke my heart. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Or the psoriasis patch flakes. That's how the psoriasis patch flakes. But what good is skincare if you're not protecting your body? Yes, the body that is exposed to the sun is the skin that I protect, and this is what I've been using for my body. So first off, I have been loving this sunscreen spray from Elta MD, but I don't believe that a sunscreen spray should be your primary form of application. A lot of people like spray this and walk through it, and I'm like, that is not protection. You either have to spray directly on the skin, or better yet, spray into your hand and then work it into your skin to make sure that you're actually being protected. But this is something I find great for reapplication, and your primary application is most important. So what has my primary application sunscreen been? This is where, again, we get super honest as always. I switch my sunscreens on my body all the time. Basically, if it didn't work for my face, it's going on my body, especially my chest and my back where I'm acne prone. But like, if it's pasty, if it's greasy, if it's really hard to rub in, that's what my arms and my legs and my exposed areas get. And if I have something extra from what I've been putting on my face, I put it on my body. Now, the Black Girl sunscreen is something I love. I bought a bunch of tubes of these, so I've been using this on my body because I love the way it makes my body look. But we're gonna talk about this in a future video. This is kind of, I don't know if it's a disaster. We're gonna talk about this because I have been using these together, and if you're not subscribed, yeah. So let's just put it this way. The sunscreen and the sunscreen reapplication is great, but this was not. And so yes, sunburns have been a part of my life. Sunburns here prove that my sunscreen works here and proof that this does not. So yes, aloe vera has had to come to my rescue. The Holika Holika aloe vera is one that I really, really love. Also the Holika Holika body lotion, this is also one that I really enjoy and have been using, but this is the one that I'm currently using. And again, aloe vera after a sunburn is good as long as you're not blistering. If you're blistering, go to the doctor. You can take NSAIDs for pain and to kind of help with some of that inflammation. You don't want to put anything occlusive on the skin, so do not use a body salve, do not use Vaseline or CeraVe. You don't want to trap that heat in. Actually, I put my aloe vera gel in the fridge. It's really, really good. And this is the one that I've been using. It's Aromatica, the organic aloe vera gel. Organic doesn't make it better. It's just a really good aloe vera gel, and the fact that it's in a pump makes it easy to apply. It is nice and lightweight. I find it to be even more watery than the Holika Holika aloe vera. Here's some ASMR for you. Puts the lotion on the skin. Okay, I'm sorry. But it is more lightweight and watery. And again, after a sunburn, as long as it's latex free, as long as it's formulated well, aloe vera or just glycerin, both of those are fantastic. And most aloe vera gels, the main ingredient usually is glycerin. So yeah. This one is not glycerin, which is why it's a little bit more liquidy, but I believe the Holika Holika one is. And that's my body care routine and what I'm using. I also have a skincare routine. If you haven't seen it, help yourself. But do remember to stay hydrated. Reapply your SPF, but not with one of these motherfuckers. Please use this instead, and always remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I love you, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.